You know, I want to get in touch with you because I'm on the marketing and branding committee. We actually were going to talk about this. So it's definitely yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Oh yeah, I'm going to introduce Tim Suggs over here. Hey, Tim Suggs, this is Chris Shopper. He's with Bolton Meek Engineering. That's really good guy. He's Tim Suggs. He's on the Laura's show. Yeah, he's good. He's also with Santee. One thing you met him last there is Richie not for you.
Maybe I thought you were like 3 people. We should have used it. I didn't just so I didn't know you were like it's been 19 maybe we're in 2 days later. I hadn't gotten to work.
Are you going to the EDC meeting next week? It's the Bourbon Street Economic. Soon you or somebody office like this. It's 19, 17, 19. It's the region, Horry, Georgetown, counties. I think those are the section covers. Sandy Davis, she's the CEO. She's from Loris actually, so yeah, she's pretty awesome. It's gonna be at Marina Inn. 7:30. They have an executive from CDRE. Big commercial estate firm. I forgot what his position is, but he's gonna be the keynote speaker. Yeah, it's gonna have this. Yeah, we used to do something. Okay, good. Yeah, no, it's okay. Tim, yeah, exactly. Oh, really?
This is yours. You go by Tim. What do you go by?
It's called Charles today. A student called me Charles. I'm like, hold on. I'm like, Kobe, guys. Well, my mom calls me Charles, okay? When I'm in trouble, all right? So I guess it was my bylaw.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to City of Loris regular council meeting. Your City Hall is Monday, January 9th, 2023, 6:01 p.m. Councilwoman Dawson, you say anything, please?
Let us bow. Dear God, we pause to thank you for blessing us to be a part so far of 2023, this brand new year. And Lord, we pray that as we move towards the year, end the year, that we'll be continued to be blessed. Bless our citizens. Bless our employees. In your Son Jesus' name, we do pray. Amen.
Amen.
Stand.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Councilwoman John Goff,
Here.
Councilman Louis Hardy.
Here.
Councilwoman Andrea Coleman,
Here.
Councilman Carol Pax.
Here.
Councilman Michael Suggs.
Here.
Councilwoman Dan Scott.
Here.
And Mayor Todd Harrison.
Here.
Thank you very much. All councils present.
Thank you, sir. Let's then move forward to the public and press comments, and we'll start off with Liliana with the U.S. Small Business Administration.
Thank you, Mayor, council members, and all the people present at this meeting. I am actually very honored to be part of the team with the Small Business Administration Office of Disaster Assistance that's here on the ground after Hurricane Ian to help residents and small businesses and people that were impacted by the hurricane. We are here since the inception of this declaration. That's presidential declaration that includes Horry County as one of the primary counties, together with Charleston and Georgetown as primary counties, and it covers individual assistance from FEMA and also loans, disaster loans from Small Business Administration. The Small Business Administration loans are two types of loans: it's physical damage to your property and economic impact. And we are very close to the deadline of the registration with FEMA, and also with physical damage disaster assistance from SBA, which is ours is January 20, the deadline, and theirs is January 23rd for registration. But we also have available economic injury disaster assistance loans for businesses, nonprofit organizations in Horry County that they've been impacted by the storm. And when I say that, I just had the pleasure to meet this afternoon the Chamber of Flores County and the city. And I'm going to go forward with them, and we're going to try to have something with the members to make this information aware to them. It's extremely important that the businesses know what's available to them. Up to $2 million in loans with a very low interest rate, with a repayment of 30 years and no interest for the first year. And 5 months, it's already pardoned the first 5 months of payment. So this is something that it could help a lot of people, it could help the economy, definitely could help the city of Loris. And I just urge you to also proliferate this information through your networks and through all the media available. Since I came here about 4 weeks ago, I've been nonstop with the media, with city government, county government, Chamber of Commerce's, trying to put this information out there for the citizens. I brought with me some flyers. I'm going to leave them here. I'm also going to, ask the mayor to allow us to put this information on the Facebook page if it's possible. I'm going to forward that information. I do have your contact information there. So with that being said, why is it so important? It's, this is not the first disaster, not the first hurricane, not the last hurricane that's going to pass by. So we are having these funds available. If people apply and they know how to apply on time, we can have this, right now we have a business recovery center that's available to everybody to come. And that's in Pawleys Island in Georgetown. I know a lot of people, they don't like to drive that far, but they could do it online as well. So they could go to sba.gov/disaster and they could apply online with us. It's that simple. They could call the customer service, they could ask for a paper application. I would not advise that, but it's possible. So if this information becomes available in your constituency, your residents are going to ask about it. This way I could just leave a trail of paperwork behind and they know how to apply once we are gone. I was telling the city administrator, FEMA is actually going to have at the Home Depot in Horry County and Oak Street.
Yeah.
Oak Street, they're going to have a mitigation table tomorrow, starting at 8 o'clock. I'm going to be present there with the PIO from FEMA. We're going to wait for the media to come. We are pushing a lot of information towards mitigation. Why? Because hurricanes and disasters are going to happen. People need to know how to prepare for a disaster, what funds are available, and who's who and what's what. FEMA is a federal agency that I like to call it boots on the ground after a disaster. They come, they give the first assistance, and then they refer you to us. Small Business Administration gives you loans, which are recovering in the long-term, long process for residents, businesses, and nonprofit organizations. One thing that very few people know, that if you don't fill in the information with us, the federal assistance stops right there. So if you fill in the information with us for the loans, regardless if you want the loan or not, you could be reverted back to FEMA for additional funds, which otherwise you could not qualify if you don't apply to us. So that little, niches of information like that is important for your residency, and, that's all I have to say, and I've got 3 minutes.
Thank you very much.
Can I say just one quick thing, guys? It is tomorrow, the FEMA does have 2 more weeks, and if you go on the FEMA mobile app, go there, or you can do disaster assistance.
Yes, you need to register with them, you could do it online, you could do it with their FEMA app, and also you could do it, once you go to their centers. They close the center, they add in Horry County and the Carolinas, they have a center.
That's right.
But, right now, we do have the Business Recovery Center that's still open in Pawleys Island off of 17 at the Exchange in North Litchfield,
Right.
and right next to the Magistrate Court. And that information is available in all the packages that I'm going forward.
Thank you very much. You should be able to make your next meeting.
Yes, sir, I'm running.
Next person on the list is Stacy Lane.
Good afternoon. I teach school, but this is different talking in front of adults, so I had to type this out for me. Near the end of the summer, I realized that I had been paying city taxes on my car notices. I am a tax-paying citizen and just assumed that the amount I was billed for was the amount that I should have been paying. I have spoken with the Horry County Tax Assessor and the Horry County Auditor's Office on December 12th. The county told me that the city sends a letter with residents' names on it so the tax office can send out the correct notices. I'm not sure who put my name on the list, but I have never lived in the city limits of Loris, and I do not currently live in the city limits of Loris. A lady named Ms. Taylor at the auditor's office informed me that I would need a letter from the city of Loris stating I do not live in the city, that I live in the county. She also stated that I could be reimbursed for up to 10 years if the city would state that in the letter. I called the city of Loris on December 12th as soon as I got off the phone with her. And after being transferred twice, I spoke with Miss Samantha, who informed me she would look into this and call me back. On December 13th at 4:50 in the afternoon, Miss Samantha called me and said that she could provide me with a letter stating that I did not live in the city, but the city would not put the 10-year clause in the letter because that's a county decision. I then called Ms. Taylor back, who has put me in touch with her supervisor, Mr. Stephen Thompson. I am waiting on him to call me back. I am asking for a letter stating that I can be reimbursed for up to 10 years since I paid money I did not owe and should not have been billed for.
We'll definitely, check into that, and this is the best number to get back.
I will give you all of that.
Okay.
There's some copies there.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Samantha. We're going to the,
I'm not listening.
No, she's not here tonight.
Hi. Well, I have to say that I have the president, our new president for 23 year, Timothy Suggs is here with us tonight. And Kobe Williams, he's the board director. Timothy, I don't want to talk tonight.
Hello, everyone.
I was like, come, just talk, I'm gonna let him talk just a second, since I always talk, y'all already talking. Let's just say we had a retreat and
Okay, so we had a retreat, we had a good 5-hour meeting Saturday to discuss our plans for 2023. I'm excited, I think the whole board is excited for this new year. We've had a vision of how we can work with the city more than we have this past year. I'm excited to see, I'm speaking with Clay of the needs that the chamber can meet, as well as any needs that the chamber may have that the city can, so we can work together going forward. I'm looking forward to it. We're glad to help the community.
we look forward to it also.
and so, that's all right, Neil. I mean, we're just working on what we're gonna do. Of course, you know, we're gonna do the same events and hopefully we'll add some new stuff. And I know we're gonna do a lot more advertising this year, so we look forward to having conversations with y'all and seeing where we can go.
I guarantee you, if anybody thinks they've seen him before, it's because he was buzzing all around with Samantha, most of the events we had like wide open, so it's obvious he's off to a running start.
Yeah, so we're super excited about this year, so.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, man. Talk to you, John. One more. Miss Lana Brooke.
Oh, gosh.
Three minutes.
I moved here April 29th this year. I'm retired veteran. I care about every community I live in. I try to make everything look good. I've even written an email to the town of Loris. I don't know if the right person got it or not. I hope they did. About maybe getting some volunteers together to even do some painting and make things look better. I noticed there's a lot of abandoned buildings. I can't hardly speak because I don't like speaking in front of people. I'm a little nervous. I thought I should be here tonight because I have a lot of little things. I noticed there's a lot of empty buildings, abandoned buildings. I have one right by my house on Strawberry Road. I've noticed twice the windows were up on the house. Nobody lives in there. Never seen anybody over there, any cars. The grass is overgrown. There's a tool shed, looks like it's rotten. And people, I think, have been going in there. There's another one on Green Sea Road. I've seen windows busted out in there. Looks like it used to be a business or something there. And I've seen different cars parked over there. People were going in there doing probably their drugs and stuff. I thought I'd make the people aware of that. Nobody is. I always look when I'm driving and probably look and find things that probably don't need to be finding. But also, I noticed there's a lot of speeding on where I live at off Mount Olive Road. There at Mount Olive and Strawberry. There was actually an accident right almost in front of my house with a garbage truck and a truck. One coming out Strawberry, the other one Mount Olive. Since then, I hadn't had my garbage picked up, so I've been dumping my garbage myself. I don't know if the garbage company's still open or not, but they don't return my calls. G&G Garbage Company.
Just to let you know, so your address and being out as far as you are, the only thing that we really have any jurisdiction over is within the city limits of Loris.
Oh, okay.
So it would be a county council.
Okay. So maybe I'm at the wrong meeting then.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, okay. Okay, well, I guess maybe I need to find where I need to go to for the next meeting then.
Well, we can assist you with that.
Okay.
I'll find out later.
We can assist you with that. I didn't mean to break in, but
That's all right.
I didn't want you to go too far in detail without knowing.
Pretty much finished everything.
Yes, ma'am.
Can I say something real quick before you move on? I
Yeah.
forgot that we have a youth leadership Loris student, Tim, he's here. I just wanted to introduce that we got another one to come to our city council. So,
How you doing, Tim? Good. Glad to have you.
Brent, I did have one question I meant to ask you, because you introduced him and made me think about it. Is the young entrepreneur
yeah.
event coming
So,
up?
it is supposed to be January 21st, and I don't feel like it was, I put flyers out in school and stuff like that, but I just don't feel like it got where, I think it got lost in the shuffle of Christmas and stuff, and I was hoping that they would make their products during Christmas, so I'm gonna move it out a couple of months, and I'm looking at probably the end of
I didn't
March.
know that.
Yeah, me and him had a conversation before, but yeah, so, it was supposed to be January 21st, but I'm gonna move it to the end of March.
Getting that county council meeting tomorrow night. That's what I'm saying. Tomorrow night.
We do this.
Thank you, Samantha. That's everybody that signed up to speak at this point. Let's see. I do have a McLeod Lawrence hospital report, which is, it's not too long, it's short and sweet. They're finishing the new operating room. It'll be opened up in March. And the new medical system is live. And they're working out the bugs right now. I got this from Scotland, the hospital administrator. Everything's going good there. They continuing to build and add on and make Loris Hospital even greater thing than it already is. I mean, they're really, really doing a lot of things there. So glad to have them here. We had a last night at 7:30, we had a pillar of the community that passed away. It was Gene Mills. He passed away at 7:30 last night, and it's not on here, but he contributed to the growth of Loris and many things with Loris at Walkert's, throughout the neighborhood, throughout the churches. Loris Blue Pride Booster Club, a founding member in that, and never did slow down until a couple years ago when he got cancer, and he even held on and did a lot of things after that. And just if you would just keep his family in your prayers and his loved ones and friends, because that's a hard one to swallow. A lot of people love. Coffee with the mayor. It is this coming Thursday, which is the 12th at 9 o'clock. Right over there in the conference room, community room. 9 o'clock, everybody's welcome. Come have just casual conversation and talk about things that you want to talk about, anything from city stuff to fishing. It doesn't, not limited to anything. So, and you're welcome to come too.
Thank you. I do care about the town of
Oh,
Lawrence,
yeah, and
the city of
you're welcome
Lawrence.
to come to that meeting and listen to what things we got going on. You're a part of Lawrence too. You come here and you shop here and we welcome you.
Thank you. I'd be glad to get, if anything was needed for volunteers to paint or spruce up anything, I'd be glad to.
Thank you
You
very
can add my name to help out.
Let's see. That's all for the mayor's report. At this time, we go around to the minutes, and we will table the minutes tonight until some corrections are made. And when Mrs. Samantha gets back to make those, we'll look at those next month.
My motion,
Okay.
Motion that we table the minutes, passage until corrections are made.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. All in favor? Motion passes. Unanimous. Thank you. Okay. Administrator's report.
Yeah, Mayor and Council, I got a couple of things. I gave council some information out from the Waccamaw Regional Council of Governments has a new person that they hired recently, Lee Kane. Talked to her, met with her last week, and also met with her, talked to her today on the phone. She did send out some information on the, as you know, they're doing the comprehensive plan on zoning for the city. And the lady was there before, left and went somewhere else. Now Lee's picking this ball up and kind of running with it. So she's going to come, she can circle back around. We talked to her about that. She's also going to help us get all of our planning commission members up to date for training wise and all that. So I gave a list out here. I'm going to send this out to planning commission members and make sure that the ones that have already got some of the training, all they have to do is do continuing education classes. And then the new members that we put on there will have to do February 24th, February 28th, do the actual orientation. Once they do that, they'll be up to speed on requirements of law. I did ask them, and they are agreeable to do a contract. I don't know if Carol and Gil might be, we had talked about hiring an outside firm. It appears that Waccamaw Council of Governments will help us with the updated zoning ordinance and that type of stuff. So I'd rather, since they're doing the comprehensive plan, we may want to just do another contract with them to help us with that part once we finish that. But that, I'm gonna bring that back. She's gonna actually come to Loris, Ms. Kane's gonna come to Waccamaw Regional Council, she's actually gonna come to Loris on the 25th this month, which will be January 25th. She'll be here at 10 o'clock in the morning. She and I can walk around, look at some stuff and get some more information. So, that'll give me a little bit of time to get it together. It appears that Waccamaw Regional Council of Governments will help us get through the entire process. Because it's a little bit better than what we thought. It's just, the 22-23 budget report, I got that up to date. Jamie and I are finished with that for mid-year. We have done last year's 21-22 budget for the auditors. We are within a few days. Hopefully we're within a week or so of finishing out. We may actually give a preliminary report to council before we send it to the auditors. I feel pretty good about the numbers. So we will go ahead and get that to auditors, which we should be Hancock will end up doing this audit report for last year, 2021-22. And then hopefully it should take about 2.5-3 months. I'm hoping about March, we can get that March, April, we can get that report back. And for last year and the other prior year audits, we got 17, 18, and I'm doing a compensation for 19, 18, 19, 19, 20. So that will basically, based on the Controller General's office, myself, that will get us updated. So hopefully by April, if everything falls into place, we should be good. I think, hopefully we got all the information we could get about the numbers. She and I looked at that, we'll double check them with our software people. So so care about this. Hopefully in the next 3 months we'll have it all together, have to be in all format.
Mr. Young, I noticed the orientation and continuing education.
Yep.
That is with the Waccamaw Regional Council.
Yep.
Is in Georgetown.
Yes.
I'd like to see our opportunity of our members
Yeah.
to go through those classes. We got break it up in 2 days, on February the 22nd for half the program.
Right.
And then on Tuesday the 28th, the other half.
Right.
And then in August, they provide it all at one time.
Yes.
Could you ask her if they could do that up here?
Yeah, that's a good question too. I'm glad you saw it. These here on the 25th, which is January 25th, 1 at 9 to 10, and 10 to 11, 11, 12. Those continuing education classes. You've already been on the planning commission. You've already passed the orientation. And all you got to do is do the continuing education classes. You don't have to do the orientation again. But you are right. You can do the orientation on those 2 days, or you can actually do it online. But then now they've got an opportunity where you can actually do it online if you want to without having to go to class. But some people like to attend a class. Some people like to have instruction by instructors. So trying to pass on online.
I just hate to drive to Georgetown.
Yeah, I may ask them if they can do that too. So,
Maybe 2 hours to get there.
yeah, I know. Charlie Baird knows with me, South Carolina. Charlie Baird knows the South Carolina Municipal Association can also teach the class too.
Yeah.
I could teach it based on the requirements, by having a master's degree and having some years experience. But I would prefer not to do it. I would prefer Charlie County to do it. I've done it before at other council governments, but I would prefer somebody from the outside.
If you can just ask them, is there any way that they can do it, provide it for us up here?
We may be able to do that. I mean, I may be able to ask Charlie to actually come and do it here in Loris instead of going to
Okay. Repetition.
I know, I totally don't disagree. I agree with you.
Thank you, that's all.
Thank you. Blake, appreciate that. Committee reports, Finance and Personnel Committee, did y'all have a chance to meet or did y'all?
Yes, sir. We met on Wednesday, January the 4th at 4 o'clock. And we were given a lot of information, I'll say it like that. The highlights, we talked briefly about the city treasurer position. We were presented copies of the employee manual. We discussed the procurement policy, and then the city administrator updated us tremendously. And I'll ask Jan and Clay to fill in anything that I left out.
Or Andrew.
Oh, Andrea, yes. Oh, everybody was present.
One of the things that we discussed in our meeting in preparation for this upcoming year, and Samantha and Mr. Suggs, I'm glad you're here tonight since you are newly appointed. The committee would like to request, y'all to attend our next committee meeting. We'd like to get a year-long kind of outlook of what you guys have planned, how we can partner together, what that might look like for us fiscally. And so I was glad to hear you saying what you both said tonight about this upcoming year and the plan. So that was one thing that we wanted to request. Another thing, and Attorney Moss, you can let me know if this needs to come in the form of a motion. The committee would like to request, and I probably will have to be a motion, that any request made from departments or use of our hospitality funds, that those will be presented to the Personnel and Finance Committee, that we would review those requests and then make a recommendation back to full council, for full council to approve the usage of those funds.
I suppose that could be a policy that the council would adopt. I don't know the state law requires it, but it would sound policy.
Good idea.
The council might really, when we draft that policy, and have the council.
How does the rest of the council feel about that proposal?
Agree with that.
So that'd be, we could limit that to amounts over $5,000. So that you don't have to meet every time you had something to do with a tournament or something to do with, Christmas bulbs or something like that. I would recommend that.
Well, I mean, I guess that would be the back and forth discussions in the development of the policy.
Yeah.
But what I think would be, what sounds the most appropriate about the idea would be the committee would propose a policy for council consideration. I certainly don't mind being there for that as well.
Yeah, I think it's a great idea. I just think it could be a thorn in the side if our city administrator couldn't, $100 pack of light bulbs because of that.
We'll be glad to review that and bring that back to council with the recommendation. We also did receive the proposals for the master plan study, and we plan to meet probably again before the next council meeting and review that and bring the recommendation to council back for that council to approve. We're still gonna review, we had a few more things we needed to review as, Councilwoman Goss said, with our procurement policy and the employee handbook, and plan to bring that back to council in February as well for council's, approval, and get that to you in plenty of time for you to contact the committee member, if you, or administrator, if you have any, discrepancies or anything that you see before the February meeting.
That's, do you have anything, Councilman?
Yeah, covered it all.
Thank you very much for that committee. Public Safety Committee.
I don't think the other committee met this month, it was just December.
Just for the record, the Buildings and Ground, Recreation Committee, Planning, Annexation, Public Works Committee. There's no meeting.
Just December, yeah.
All right, ordinance is on there, it says no, so we'll move on to business. The ARP grant.
So we've got 4 proposals for what Mr. Moss said. what I'll probably do, council, I'll probably turn this over to the public works committee, let y'all go through the schedule. This is, from ACOM. Yeah.
I guess you pronounce the name of the company, AECom. They're all good.
Yeah.
That's the one we think.
Acid is, this is from Pam Engineering.
I know, I was just going to clarify that. I hope that worked for you.
Mr. Young, should we put on the record the companies
Yeah.
and also the amounts of that proposal?
This is from, MRBG Group. We got, where's that? You see what we're doing? So staff hadn't had time to go through, this is a DDC engineers, proposal. I can send a copy of all of them.
I don't know that it's gonna be as easy to figure out what the amounts are. We just say, we can certainly put who we received it from on the record, and we can see that together. So if that particular one is not, doesn't not pay, see if this was.
What I can do is I can give a copy of all the councilors that asked for 2 copies of
I
it.
just think the minutes need to reflect what the proposal is.
I know that, DEC's got, let's see. It's like 154,888, 888.
That's what
DDC.
154,880.
I haven't found it in these two or anything.
MRB has got, let's see.
If I'm reading it correctly, AECom is giving us a proposal for approximate fee of 70,000 and lead and copper inventory at 50,000.
No. Okay.
Proposal.
Yeah, NVR's got, site survey design, permitting, bidding, construction observation, construction admin, all broken out, and then it's got scanned historical records, lead, copper, and then it's got 29,900, which should be about 30,000. $30-something thousand lead, copper inventory, and then the other was site survey design, permitting 20, 44, 5,400, 2,500, 1,665. So it's all, I'll give you a lump sum. That's all resident, you got 8 counts.
Yeah, I read that one. It's on the last page. And engineering. Has a engineering fee of $40,100 for engineering design, $24,600 for construction observation, and $30,000 for the lead copper report.
We'll give a copy to all council members, we'll state them in the minutes what they were, and then we'll also give it to you, and Jackson, and all council members, what they have. Committee will move back, so we're back together.
I guess we could pass it out in executive session.
We can.
Back there.
We give mine, because I asked for 10 copies.
Is there anything else on that?
Number 4.
we're going to be, Old State Theater, owned by Historical Society, which we had, some of us had the pleasure of, seeing a performance there at Christmas. And, our Councilman Paget was performing in that, and it was a fantastic performance. It was probably the best Christmas performance I think I've ever seen. I mean, it was just fantastic. It was just good. If you didn't get to go, you need to go next year, and they're already booking for next year and for more than one show, I understand. People had to get turned away. It was a packed house. We also had a Grinch breakfast there, which is our norm now. We have a Christmas Grinch breakfast. Samantha was involved in that. Kim, the chamber, were involved in that. Historical Society let us go in there, and it was a packed house too. There were children having a good time the entire time. And I think it's been rented out a couple of times since then. People were starting to line up to come to Loris just for that alone, to go in there and have events, and to come to events that the chamber's having and other people are booking events at. But in the past, there's been several times that I mentioned that the old State Theater was something that I felt like should be thought about by council as possibly helping them with some funding. At this point, if I'm not mistaken, they've been told by code enforcement that they have to get insulation in the roof before they get their CO now. Everything was fine. They have what's been there, but they had to get insulation in the roof. They got to buy tables and chairs. They have a marquee. They got a number of things to do that they need funding for. And I wanted to bring it before council and start a discussion on this as to what maybe we could do as a city to support the Historical Society and try to figure out or see if this is the pleasure of the council to help in with some of these fundings through hospitality or whatever would be the correct way to do it. So if there's any discussion, I know they need those things, and maybe Samantha, if you have any numbers available that we could think about, or if there's some more things that we can contribute to, if you'd like to stand up and speak, or if anybody else has anything with that.
I appreciate it. And so we have done our first phase, which was to include 3 restrooms, a prep room, and a storage room. So all of that has been completed except for the prep room has not been, is there, the room's there. So we got to build the counters and get coolers and ice makers and that kind of stuff. We don't have any tables, so that'll be our next thing, but we did get a permanent CO to do a few, events in there, but we have to get it insulated. So we are working on getting quotes to that. Now, we did get quotes probably about a year or so ago, and they were about $15,000. So we got to get that before we can get a permit.
Just for the installation.
Just for insulation. So there's 2 ways that we can do it. We can insulate it, like old school, that they put insulation up, and we're gonna have to come up with a cover to do it. Or I'm also getting a quote for like a membrane on top that'll do that with a sealant. But I just got to find out what rating that was, but they were about the same cost. So, and then we're gonna eventually add the museum portion in there, which would include 2 glass boxes is how I describe them, but they're 30 feet long. So when you walk in the front door, on both sides of the door, there'll be 30 feet of glass with, 30 feet of glass, and then they have like a solid wall at the end, and those will be almost like giant display boxes, and you can walk in there and they'll have memorabilia of Loris, and that'll be our museum. And then if somebody's having an event, you can lock the door and you can still see it, but you can't go in there during an event. And then we're gonna renovate the marquee in the front of the building. So those are kind of like our phases of what we're doing. So our phase one has been completed except for the prep room is our next thing, but to get our CO, it has to be insulated. So that's what we're on.
So the, in those phases, basically, what I'm understanding is the insulation is the biggest thing.
Yeah, we have to get insulation. I mean, I'm not worried about the cabinets in the prep room right now. I have to get insulation to get a permanent CO. So that's my next step to get, what we got to do to get it open, to start getting money to finish the rest of it.
I think,
So what kind of shape is the roof in the building?
It's in really good shape. There's like one small tiny leak that we're going to patch, but really it's, we need to figure out which way we're gonna do it, because if we're gonna put a membrane, we're gonna, go ahead and fix that anyway, so. But, when it rains, there's like one little small thing that we gotta fix, but other than that, it's in really good shape, and it's all exposed so you can see it.
I think you need to do some hard figures and come back with a proposal.
Yes, so we are, working on, quotes right now for that, but we definitely will do that.
yeah, I think that's, I definitely think that we should try to help the historical society with that. I doubt council's in this agreement. If you will get us some numbers so we can,
Oh, yeah,
think about those and ponder on those.
all right, appreciate it.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you very much. Okay. Appointments. You want to,
Yeah, Mayor, Council, I gave you a sheet, that y'all did have a committee where a person could fill out a form if they want to be on a certain committee. Like planning, zoning board of appeals. I thought we had 7 members, but apparently we only have 6, so got 1 member vacant. I'll send out the members tomorrow and say if that's at their council. And apparently there's 5 zoning board of appeal members, and we've got 2 vacancies, so I'll send those out tomorrow and send to you who those people are. But this looks like form y'all used in the past. Does that look right?
We did back in 2020.
So we can modify that a little bit. Correct. So that looks like the form that y'all used in the past. So that's, other document we go with, because a little bit about how the person is and stuff. Don't want to make any changes to it, just let me know.
Mr. Young, I think Councilman Suggs had, the correct dates for the terms of office.
Yeah, that's right.
It's
There are
not
certain dates.
necessarily
So like-
January first, so that sheet on the front may need to be modified before we put that out, with the
Okay.
correct
Yes,
dates.
because the terms do run out, you know, right?
And it doesn't, I think he noted that it did not necessarily start January first.
Correct, that's right. That's right.
Staggered terms on those.
Well, they're staggered, so all of them will come off at the same time. Right. Okay, we can do that. I just want to make sure this form's okay. This is sort of what you look at. You've got like the two vacancies on the board of appeals. The interim city treasurer position, also discussing executive session, will come out and make a recommendation.
that's A and B.
Right.
We got C.
And see,
So we'll do that in executive session coming
Departmental reports. Public Works.
up. Forward here.
Jordan Phillips.
How is everybody?
Everybody have a
Good holiday.
yes,
Yeah, I just kind of want to reflect on 2022, about all the new construction, of a lot of, new development, a lot of new services that we installed. It was busy.
this year, starting off, we got a lot more, people looking for new development, new testing installed. So, got a lot to look forward to for 2023, so, yeah, just as busy as it was last year, so. That's pretty much all I have. I don't know if Ricky wants to add anything on to that, but.
There's a lot going on. Well, I'll tell you, Jordan has been, he's been, wearing many hats in the last little bit. And to go through all the things that they normally do and add on, putting up, a bunch of Christmas decorations and trees and stars and snowflakes. I think there was a few hiccups, but for the most part, it was very successful. And we really appreciate the extra that you give it, Jordan. And some of your guys give it a lot extra too. I said there was a few hiccups, but for the most part, it was great. And I got nothing but praise and thanks for what y'all did. We did have some new stars located in different areas of the city that the guys over at the shop, they both worked refurbished old stars and saved the city quite a bit of money by doing that. And they started landing in new places. And there was a lot of excitement. I think Councilwoman Goss heard a lot of that excitement.
Yes, I did, and living in that area around at 50 years, it was so nice just to see the one star at that point hanging after 50 years of nothing.
There was a pretty Christmas star right beside Mount Roman
Yes.
Church.
Yes.
And it got a lot of eyes, and they were really happy about that star. And some stars down Spring Street also.
Yes.
So, and public safety, there was a blue star down there. We went down there to put up stars. Me and Jordan went down there to figure out where they were gonna be. And Jordan came up with the idea while we're down there. He said, well, it'd be a good idea since we're gonna put them here, put a blue one here for PD and a red one for the fire department. And that's what we did, and it was a big hit too. So I think everybody likes to be appreciated, and it looked really good up there. Thank you.
Thanks, love.
Yes. Now, I'd like to, you all handle dilapidated buildings as well? Is that part of your job? Okay. I'd like us to get back full force on dilapidated buildings. There are a few that just a tiny bit of work was done and it has since stopped. But anyway, we need to get back on that.
Councilwoman Goss, I spoke with Wayne Fox about that the other day, and I got a list of areas over in your area and other places. And he and I are going to take a ride, and I'm going to show him those places that we started on that came to a cease.
Very good.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you. We got a code enforcement report here. So I guess that won't be verbally provided. We have it here. Anybody that needs a copy can get one. Recreation Department.
Yeah. I don't know where the rec department star was. Yeah. Sorry, maybe next year. So recreation-wise, basketball has started. Last year, we had 3 age groups. We had 7 and 8-year-olds, 9 and 10-year-olds, 11 and 12-year-olds. We had 55 kids across all 3 ages. This year, we had 100 players playing basketball. And I'm still getting calls about, can you sign up? Can you sign up? So that is awesome.
But it can be a curse too, because finding space for everyone to practice and games becomes difficult. So hopefully we get that new complex going and get that building for us. It's gonna be able to make it a little easier, and we'll get even more kids. Green Sea, there's a lot of kids, not a lot, 5 or 6 kids from Green Sea are gonna play in Loris this year because they just canceled the basketball program on them, and it was past our deadline. A lot of them called me up and said, hey, we have nothing. Can you help us out? And even though we were past our limit, man, so that got us to our even 100. So I'm excited about that. So that's going. Looking forward, I want to put this on everybody's calendar. I'm planning March 25th is going to be our recreation opening day fest that we had, kind of like we did last year. It's going to be bigger and better this year. But I know last year, many of you showed up. I would love for you to come again. Consider this your invite. I'll send out another one when it gets closer. But I thought it was great having your faces there, and I'd like to do that again. We're going to add more to it. We got Chauncey coming, Splash is going to come, maybe Cluck can come.
I'll be there.
Yeah. Our own Lacey's going to be there, so it's going to be we'll have inflatables, all sorts of stuff going on. So I'm excited about that. But I've got that date, March 25th is where we're going to get that going. Speaking of baseball, I after 3 virtual meetings with Major League Baseball, I finally was able to secure, and we were awarded a $10,000 grant from the Major League Baseball Youth Development Foundation that's going to be able to go towards baseball, softballs, and umpires for the coming year. So that is going to help us tremendously. I don't know if you've ever looked at the prices of baseballs now, but it's not cheap. So that is definitely going to help us out. So I'm excited about that. It'll be good for us. I'm just going to throw this out there because there might be some interested parties here. Tomorrow afternoon, I'm actually meeting at 3:30 at the high school. They're having a business and marketing education program. I think I don't know what, you might know more about it. Anyway, Ms. McKinnon is leading it. It has to do with business and marketing and just helping high schoolers know kind of the opportunities that are out there. And they'd like to see as many different walks of life there. So I'm going to meet there tomorrow. Let me know if you're interested. And tomorrow the meeting, I can throw some names out there that may be interested in stopping by and just kind of whenever they meet in the future, stopping by and letting kids know, what opportunities are out there, just kind of how to prepare for being successful. So that's going on. Then the last thing, Ms. Goss, to your point, one of our main topics, I talked about at the last council meeting, but we've got our brand new roof at Watson Park. I'm starting to delegate some things to get some ideas for how we can attack getting the inside of Watson Park fixed up. I think sometimes part of the issue of why it may have gone downhill a little bit is just wasn't being used. So if we can get that place fixed up, I think it's going to open up a lot of opportunities for us to use it and get a lot of traffic over there, help us out, and kind of spruce up the area. So we're in the process of doing that. I sent a couple of the guys over the other day to just kind of just get some ideas of what needs to be done. Some of it will take some work. Some of it, we can put together a community day and, painting, something like that, just painting, get fresh paint out there. It can be something we can do. But we're definitely in the process of looking at that and getting that taken care of. Sort of get that area used again. All right. Oh, and speaking of that also, sorry, I didn't have this on my notes, but we were actually awarded our 2023 PARD grant was accepted for, I believe it's in the $20,000 range for hopefully beginning the install of some brand new basketball courts there behind the field and kind of sprucing up that area, brand new parking lot over there, and just again trying to help improve the area and make it look better and get that as another spot that we can get to. So that's it.
Did you, yes, sir.
Yeah.
Did you, I showed you a couple of pieces of equipment
Yes.
that are missing from the park.
And I wish I could tell you I found it, but I don't have a clue.
That equipment was deemed unsafe and had to be removed.
Okay.
There was some things that children used to fly off of and break bones.
The little, the spinning thing.
Yeah, and a sliding board that's about 30 feet tall.
Yeah.
With no handrails on it, so those things
Right.
were deemed unsafe.
Okay.
And,
There you go.
well, I think one of the reasons that it wasn't being used because it was in pretty bad shape, so it's sort of a catch-22 on that.
Sure.
It needed to be fixed, it wasn't being used, all that sort of fit together.
Right.
You sure you can get Cluck here, cause I heard you and him had a falling out about who was going where.
Oh, yeah, no, we're good. We're good.
Okay.
Yeah, Cluck's good. He and I are cool.
Okay.
I'm just chief of staff, so I gotta, I'm just scheduled.
All right, I just tell you what's going
Well,
around.
we're good, reconciled, so
Yeah,
we're good.
okay.
A little group thing was going on there, but now we're fine.
Yeah, well, I hadn't seen him around you lately.
He's been all over the place though,
Okay.
so, he's an idea, not necessarily a person or a chicken.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you, Tim.
Mhm.
Appreciate that. As, Tim's really got it going on out there, him and Woody and everybody, they really, if you haven't been out there, ride by and look at it. Just look at it. I mean, our fields look better than any field in the county. They're green. I mean, they're bright green and they're mowed, and they're manicured and they look really, really good. So, yeah, thank you for all the hard work. Police department, we do have an attached, police report. Do you have anything on chief?
Other one house holidays. Pretty busy year. We just ran a little under 12,000 calls this year or last year. So it's been a pretty busy year, a lot of traffic coming through town now, so keeps us busy. We have lost both of our SROs, so we're in search of 2 SROs for the schools. One's leaving projects his last day. And Lost Elementary, both are a big loss. I know both schools love them both, so it's gonna be hard to fill the shoes, but hopefully we can do that.
Did hire one new person, I think that's probably.
We haven't hired anyone in a while. One just come out of the academy.
Yes, that's-
Yes, one just come out of the academy Friday. It takes a while to get them through. We've been hired prior to the
I think they
holidays.
just finished it.
We just finished the academy. So he'll be starting the STO. Our road staff's full. It's just the schools that are empty at the moment.
Thank you, chief. I know, everybody's still bragging about, and everybody knows not to speed anymore. Our guys are keeping them safe around here. We have a fire department, report attached, and we do not have a fire chief or assistant chief here. Make a motion to go into executive session for discussion on contractual and property matters and personnel matters.
That's a move.
Second,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
He's, I said, what are you doing? He's not looking at calls. I said, cardboard.
He's already in
I said, never mind, I am interested in that. So I don't know if it's for him or for Julie or Diane.
She's out there
March 24th.
Like, I started that, so I think it's pre-recorded.
That's fine.
Because I did stop it when you started, you might want to report the time.
Second.
All in favor?
Please note the time for the minutes is 8 PM, that we came out of executive session.
No action taken in executive session.
Mayor, I'd like to make a motion that we give the administrator the authority to enter into a contract. We received contingent on counter terms, to change a due diligence time period, to provide that. And, sum of $500. Exactly how it's worded in there, and also, to modify the closing date at the end of February, on February 28th. I'd also like to mention that we received, with that, motion, some, gratuitous funds from Mr. Paul Prince's, award that he received last year in the amount of $20,000. And so that we were looking at those funds, in connection with this contract, in addition to, some ARP funds.
Get a second on that motion.
Second.
Let's vote on that with roll call, please.
We'll call one.
Councilman Doss?
Yes.
I'm sorry, Councilman Hardy?
Yes.
Councilwoman Coleman?
Yes.
Mayor Todd Harrison?
Yes.
Councilman Patrick?
No.
Councilman Suggs?
No.
And Councilman Viscosi?
Yes.
That motion passes.
Mayor, I'd also like to make a motion to give the city attorney the authority to order an appraisal on a piece of real property, discussed.
Second motion.
Let's vote on that by roll call also.
Councilwoman Doss?
Yes.
Councilman Hardy? Councilman Coleman?
Yes.
Mayor Todd Harrison?
Yes.
Councilman Patrick?
No.
Councilman Suggs?
No.
Councilwoman Viscosi?
Yes.
That motion passes also.
Motion we adjourn.
No, I have another motion I'd like to make, please. Yes, sir. Mayor, I'd like to make a motion that, we appoint, Ms. Tara Coe as interim city administrator as recommended by
City treasurer.
treasurer, that's what I meant to say. As recommended by our city administrator, sorry, yes.
Second motion.
Let's vote on that by roll call, please.
Councilwoman Doss?
Yes.
Councilman Hardy?
Yes.
Councilwoman Coleman?
Yes.
Mr. Harrison?
Yes.
Councilman Patrick?
Yes.
Councilman Suggs?
Yes.
And Councilwoman Viscosi?
Yes.
And that motion passes. Unanimously.
Motion we adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
All right, what's the Bulldogs doing?
We're winning by 7.
I hope so. Good seeing you.
There should be 2 recordings for tonight. Where you get that.